It seems like the baby is singing a different tune this week. I wonder why.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What is going on, girl? It might as well be a DaBaby. Everybody been laughing since DaBaby on Baby dropped. What is going on, y'all? We have to talk about DaBaby and cancel culture, because I think that I'm seeing some things, I'm seeing some conversations, and I'm just like, although we're seeing this stuff that is going on with DaBaby, cancel culture is not a real thing. I have to keep reiterating that. I think if there's so many things, so many people who can attest to cancel culture not being a real thing. I mean, Kevin Hart was talking about this not too long ago. Who else? There's other folks who Kanye West even came out, and I have a video I'm working on about him and his cancellation. But like the stuff that is going on is not necessarily it's not cancel culture. It's not a real thing. And that's something that we really need to talk about, because we even have, what is the governor name? Andrew Cuomo in New York City, who is trying to cite cancel culture as a reason for what he's going through with these, 11 women who have come out and have accused him of inappropriate behavior. So we really have to talk about this. So, we all been following the DaBaby story. I'm actually tired of hearing about it now, but I am screaming every time a new festival is dropping him, and they just like, girl, no ma'am. Yes, all these festivals dropping DaBaby are very performative. A lot of them are very, very performative. They don't really care. Honestly, if these festivals cared, they wouldn't be throwing a festival in the middle of a pandemic while we have a variant that is raging around and affecting a lot of people. They wouldn't be doing that. What is going on is you're seeing capitalism working, and you're seeing anti-blackness work. And the same system that people like DaBaby or Torey Lanez and everybody else try to uphold is now starting to bite them in the ass, essentially. DaBaby had no issues with what he said the night after. You know how we say some stupid stuff, or I don't say anything ignorant like what he said. But you know how you do some stuff like, ooh, I was cutting up, and we'll say, get up and, maybe a notes app apology, maybe a phone call, or maybe something. DaBaby just basically said, I said what I said, and y'all ain't gonna change it. So what gets me is Torey Lanez has been out proving that cancel culture isn't a real thing, that y'all can't cancel him because he's still out here selling stuff, he's still out here doing this, he's still making moves, still getting listened to and all that. But then we go back and we see him talking about music, when it become political. Music has always been political. Rap has always, specifically rap, has always been political. Rap was started because it was a political statement. It was a lot of we're talking about the things that we are experiencing in our communities. And that's why I'm just so confused. It seems like that y'all are not really artists, because y'all are not really out here trying to tune into your creativity and research and doing things that you can work on and polish up. The fact that Torey Lanez said that he didn't know who Questlove was, the fact that Torey Lanez doesn't even know that rap was and music has always been political is very confusing to me for a black male rapper. Are you serious right now? A lot of the things that we carried in 2021, folks were saying F the police. That was a thing. That was a real thing. Folks rap was talking about police brutality, the system, how it's failed black folks before Black Lives Matter was even a thing. Black Lives Matter has always lived in people, in black folks who have known that, hey, this ain't right. Something is not right. So for Torey Lanez to get in and to just say this makes no sense at all. Y'all are not in tune into y'all creativity. Y'all are not out here researching and doing the work that is required of you all to be a better artist. And I feel sorry for you all. I feel sorry for your fans who are allowing y'all to just simply just exist. That's it. Like, y'all are not out here doing no work. Y'all are not doing no real work. So, you know, people have been talking about the baby and all of the things that, you know, he's experiencing, and this is wrong, and y'all not giving him time to grow, and da 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 da. The baby is an educated black man. Just because he has goals in his mouth and grill and all this, and he's from the hood, doesn't mean that he's unintelligent. Some of y'all are allowing anti-blackness to perceive how you look at people in the hood or folks who do these things like they're not knowledgeable of the world around them. Yes, they are knowledgeable. Like, black queer folks come from the hood. There are black folks, a lot of black folks who come from the hood who recognize that what the baby is saying is problematic. And honestly, all of the folks who are coming from, you know, suburban, like, or whatever, and doing well or whatever, all of them don't have the right politic. A lot of them don't have the right politic. A lot of them politic is elitist and anti-black as well. It's very much pick yourself up by your bootstraps. So we're not going to use this argument that the baby is a hood dude and he just doesn't know what he said, and y'all need to give him time to grow. And it's just, y'all want people to grow when it is beneficial for them, when it is a time for them to show that, hey, give me some time. But it's never no work they can be doing before this led up to this. Because that's not what's happening. Like, y'all are not out here doing any work, and like, y'all are not doing any of these things. These rappers are not out here. These folks who quote unquote getting canceled, who've been called out on Twitter, like, somebody summed it up. What is really happening is y'all fave get dragged for 2 weeks. That's it. They miss out on a couple gigs and they go back. Like, we've seen this with Torey Lanez. Torey Lanez was getting, like, Spotify was stopping his music, all these folks. But look at him now. He was able to get past security to be a part of an antagonizing situation towards a black woman. Torey Lanez should have never been allowed to come up on that stage at all. He should have never been on that stage at all. And who brought him on the stage? The baby brought him on that stage. For what? What was the purpose to bring Torey Lanez out? The song that they did, don't nobody even really know that much. People are not listening to it. It took them almost a week to get 1 million views on YouTube. Like, girl, what? YouTube is free. It took y'all that long to get 1 million views on a music video? And y'all supposed to be hot? I'm really confused. Considering all the controversy around it, all y'all can drum up is 1 million views within a couple of days? Wow, that's really sad. So, you know, recently, you know, the baby has issued an apology. And, you know, I'm gonna read some of the stuff that he said in his apology. Social media moves so fast that people want to demolish you before you even have the opportunity to grow, educate, and learn from your mistakes. Oh, baby, this was carefully crafted with you in mind. As a man who has had to make his own way from very difficult circumstances, having people I know publicly work against me, knowing that what I needed was education on these topics and guidance. We're not offering you no education on the backs of us. You're not gonna sit up here and antagonize us and do all of these things and say, well, now y'all need to educate me. This is the you're being called out. That was the education. You weren't hearing it because it wasn't beneficial to you. You had no reason to be educated until you saw the power that is capitalism. And they did not want, and I literally said this a week ago. Like, yes, girl, the girls gonna support you. When I'm saying the girls ain't talking about gays and the black folks, I'm talking about these white folks. They gonna let you do this stuff, da da da. But the moment you cost them some money, the moment that you are not a good investment, they got cutting you. And they made that very clear, to the point that some anti-blackness has came out with some of these white artists who came out against the baby, and some of these white folks who I really don't want them to be commentating or providing any type of commentary on any of this, because I feel like that y'all, we're not having the same conversation. We are talking about the harm that has been done to black queer folks. Some of these white artists, y'all not concerned about what the harm that has been done to black queer folks. Y'all are concerned about the little bit of harm that y'all experience. Because if we look at the numbers and stuff, black folks are very, very much impacted way differently from HIV and AIDS versus white counterparts. There's even research to show that black folks have lost, I think 3 or probably 3 to 5 years, I'm not mistaken, off of their life expectancy because of COVID, compared to their white counterparts who have lost probably 1.5 years. It was a study that came out, literally a study that came out and said how COVID impacted black folks versus white folks. So it's just, they use this opportunity to beat down on him. And, I don't think they're really concerned about how, HIV and AIDS affect black and brown folks. They're not really caring. They just have an opportunity to beat down on this black man who is essentially homophobic and has said some very problematic things. And DaBaby, you didn't want to do any of the work because when the stuff first happened and you said it, the whole event was just a mess. It was a shit sandwich, honestly. You got on there, you brought Torey Lanez, then you got up there and said that stuff, then you said, it was just, you said so much, you pushed it beyond the limit. And then when you got called out for it, like that was your first time to go ahead. The celebrities just don't learn. As soon as it happened, the next day should have been, you know what, girl, whatever. It should have been that immediately. But you said, no, I said what I said, and and y'all taking words out of context. It's just like, girl, y'all artists, I don't think y'all have a PR team. I don't think y'all have crisis management. I don't think y'all have. Your ego was so big, it was big as your head. You were enjoying the moment of antagonizing all these folks. You said, you are not invincible. You are not that girl. You are not that girl. Like, you are not that girl, DaBaby. What do you think you Kanye West or something? Like, if even he needs to be getting his ass ate up. Like, DaBaby, come on now. You are definitely drunk off delusion if you thought that you was gonna make out of this situation unscathed. Like, girl, you had Elton John come out. You had all these folks, now you have these festivals dropping you every day. We are turning around. 3 festivals are dropping you per day, per hour. You are losing out. And I'm wondering, what is in the contract that they had? Because I can see a contract saying that, hey, if you do anything that impacts how the festival is or whatever, like social media presence or whatever, then we have the right to drop your ass and pay you a little bit of fee. There has to be something in the contracts, because if it wasn't a situation where I was losing money and I was still getting paid and the festivals didn't, have me, whatever, and I was still getting paid, I wouldn't be pressed about it. But the fact that DaBaby came out with this second apology, which is not an apology, I have to reiterate, it's not an apology. It's not. Like, you are asking for grace when you didn't give us any grace in the beginning. When it first happened, you didn't offer any grace. Like, you was being called in. And I think folks try to lump everybody in who has a criticism of them. Like, I feel like what artists do is they lump all of the legitimate criticisms with a whole bunch of bull crap, and they just say, oh, everybody's hating. I've literally seen that. I've seen that. Celebrities do that. I try my best to make sure that I'm not doing it, because I see celebrities do that all the time. But you get some criticism, you think everybody's hating. And it's just, nobody's hating on you, girl. They're laying out like, hey girl, this ain't it. This ain't it. But we're trying to figure out, where did this come from? Now that how did you learn? For change behavior doesn't happen this quick. Now you're realizing what you said is oh, it's wrong. You haven't learned. You haven't learned. If you didn't learn the first 48 hours, you're not going to learn. You didn't learn anything. What you're doing now is you just trying to clean it up. And we know how it is. We're seeing how you're maneuvering with this. And then the second apology, it's not even an apology. You didn't want to. Now you got to eat crow. Now you got to clean up what you said. The same stuff you said last week ain't given. It was all fine and dandy. DaBaby, you actually had a really trash summer, to be honest. Really rolled up in 2 or 3 weeks. You had the incident with the kids, not giving them boys the money, putting them on blast, and then you brought Torey Lanez out to this concert, then you said all this stuff like you did music with Torey Lanez, you was antagonizing Meg. Like, you deserve every little thing that's given to you right now. And I've honestly been like hoping that you get your ass up, because you have really been showing out. You really have been showing out, from that incident with the kids to how you were responding to Megan. Now, like how you was like doing music with Torey and saying these things, and now you brought Torey Lanez out. You deserve everything. We're not finna give you no grace. We're not finna educate you. We finna cast you to the side. Like, we're not gonna give you grace so you can make money, because that's what this is. You don't care about learning. It's because you're missing out on money, and it would have been believable had you did it the first 24 to 48 hours after you made the comments. But you don't care, because you have been literally living in this and doing this trash shit, this trash behavior all month. And you think you are invincible, and you're still a black man in a white man's world. And now you're learning that, and now you want black folks to come in here, black queer folks especially, to come out here. No, girl, we gonna sit here and wait until they finish eating your ass up, and then we gonna see you come and try to beg us like you're doing now. Like, we're gonna continue to watch it. Like, I'm not interested in no type of nothing, no type of support of this man. Give me about 3-4 years. I need to give you about 2 years until he's learned. Like, you don't even feel bad for bringing Torey Lanez on that stage. It's not occurring to you. Maybe I should have been doing him. Maybe, like, even if you was a Christian, I would think that you would think like, hey girl, like, I'm doing a lot of, like, I'm getting a lot back. Like, maybe I shouldn't have been antagonizing this woman. Maybe I shouldn't have been doing this with this stuff. Like, cause I'm doing something and it's like, what's going on? Because y'all be the main ones saying, well, God got for me, can't nobody take. Well, girl, there's something show being shook and taken from you, so you might want to figure it out. You might want to figure it out. But once again, I want to end this and say that cancel culture is not a real thing. It does not exist. The only people who experience some type of cancellation are black marginalized folks, black trans folks, black femme folks, black women, and black queer folks, and black disabled folks, black folks who have disabilities. Like, those are the ones who experience it because they're already born in a world that has already essentially counseled them from the very beginning. But you black cis hetero man, I have nothing to offer you. Nothing to offer you. No education, no nothing, because if you wanted it, you worth 10, 20 times, 100 times more than me. If you want an education, you can pay somebody to educate you. So that's what you need to be doing now. So, because we can't help you.